Hi, my friends. Welcome to Learn at Home with VIA. My name is Jim Reinheimer. I am an educational consultant at Blast Intermediate Unit 17. It is really nice to see all of you today. So, I have a question for you. What I'm going to talk to you about today is, actually, it's a question to start off. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? If you're not hungry yet, that's okay. You may be hungry by the end of today's show. And if you're hungry now, then you definitely will be hungry by the end of today's show. So I'm going to read to you The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. But before I do that, I want to share with you something I made for you. And what I have here, my friends, is a caterpillar. And how I made this caterpillar was I made it with a strip of red construction paper, 5 strips of green construction paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also, for the face, I decided to use a little bit of black construction paper for the antenna, a little bit of white to make my eyes, a little bit of white and black construction paper, and a little bit of black construction paper for the nose. Like I said, if you have eyes you can glue on there, you can do that. And like I always say, you can make the caterpillar however you want. My pair of scissors, my glue, red construction paper, green construction paper, black construction paper, and the materials, which I will also share with you later. So, construction paper, green, red, black, scissors, a glue or tape. Also, if you have eyes, you can also use the eyes for that. Thank you so much for letting me share my caterpillar with you. So next, I would like to read to you The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Pay close attention. I may be asking you a few questions, and which then we'll get to our activity for today. So, The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. I'll move my screen down here a little bit so this way you can see. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. We have the white egg. Where is it laying on? The leaf. And here we have our moon. Next, one Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop, out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. There's our caterpillar. Here's our bright sun. He started to look for some food. We have a caterpillar. On Monday, he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. 1 apple. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. 2 pears, 1, 2. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums. 3 plums. 1, 2, 3. Here we have what's called a stem, and attached to the stem, we have the leaf. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 red strawberries. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. 5 oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Here comes Saturday. I think he was really hungry on Saturday, so let's see what he ate. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. Stomach ache means that his stomach is hurting because I think it was all the different kinds of food that he ate that day. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf. Here we go. And after that, he felt much better. The caterpillar felt much better. Now, he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. Now he was a big, fat caterpillar. Here we go. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and became a beautiful butterfly. The end. So, just looking back real quick again, what do we call a small house? A cocoon. And my other question is, so how long is 2 weeks? How many days? How many days in a week? 7, because we went from Sunday to Saturday was 7 days. Now we went 2 weeks, so that's 14 days. So here's the end of my story. Thank you for letting me read to you. All right, next. My next question I have for you is, what is sequencing? So sequencing is when we would arrange events, arrange items, arrange things in a particular order, usually from first to last. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sequence with you the order of the story. And before I do that, let me just show you a really cool butterfly here that I have here at the house. All right, next. All right. So in this story, we have, first, we have a caterpillar. So first thing that happened in the story was a little egg on the leaf. Next, we have the caterpillar. And he was hungry. So on Monday, he ate 1 apple. So on Tuesday, do you remember what he ate on Tuesday? He ate 2 of this kind of fruit. And that, my friends, is 2 pears. On Wednesday, he ate 3 plums. On Thursday, he ate 4 strawberries. What day of the week comes after Thursday? Friday. On Friday, he ate 5 oranges. What day comes after Friday? Saturday. Remember what he ate on Saturday? I'll tell you this, he ate a lot. Look at all the food that he ate on Saturday. Looked like he was eating cake, ice cream, a pickle, Swiss cheese, sausage, lollipops, watermelon, cherry pie, cupcakes. There was a lot he was eating that day. And of course, that was the night. Do you remember what he got on Saturday night? A tummy ache. So then The next Sunday, he had a leaf, and then he felt much, much better. So after eating all that food, this caterpillar became a small caterpillar, and he definitely became a fat caterpillar. He built himself a home. Do you remember what that home was called? A cocoon. Built himself a cocoon for 2 weeks, in which then, after 2 weeks, he became a beautiful butterfly. Here was the order of the story for the very hungry caterpillar. To share, I also have, there is a website that I will share with you also at the end of today's lesson. I also used 2 green paint sticks, and you can use green paint or you can use, what I used was green marker to color this. All right. So now, are you hungry? I know I am. I'm very hungry. So for the next part of my lesson, what I want to do is I want to show to you maybe some snacks we can make if we're hungry, in the theme of the very hungry caterpillar. So I want to share with you some snacks that I have already made up, and then I will attempt to try to put them together again for you all today. And again, all of these ideas that I found on Pinterest. There's a lot of ways you can find ideas on the very hungry caterpillar. So, all right, thank you. There we go. Next. So there is one important thing I just left out. Before we can make food, make our snacks, before we can eat, what is the one thing that we always need to do? Think about it. What do we always need to do before we make food, before we go to eat food? That's right, my friends. If you were thinking wash your hands, you are correct. So, and just as a reminder, when you wash your hands, in fact, I will just share screen with you very quickly here, what it will look like. And here we go. So washing your hands, you are first going to turn the water on. You will get your hands nice and wet. Rub your hands then with soap. And remember, when we're rubbing our hands, and how long do we usually rub our hands for? About 20 seconds. Like I said, this was the time you could sing happy birthday, sing one of your favorite songs. After that, you rinse your hands with the water, and which then you turn off the water and dry your hands. So, and now we would be able to make our food. All right, thank you. All right. So my first activity, first one, I tried to make a caterpillar. Can you all see my caterpillar? So how I made this delicious snack, which I cannot wait to eat when we're finished today, is I used 1 strawberry. I used a green apple. So I sliced my apple, have it here for the body. I used for the eyes here, I used just little small chocolate chips. And for the mouth, I also used chocolate chips. For the antenna and for the feet, I used fruit snacks. In fact, I used the fruit snack strips to make my caterpillar. I said, you can make a caterpillar any way you want. Instead of a strawberry, maybe, for example, you can use, they have that red Baby Bell cheese some of you may like. If you like cheese, you can use that. You can use maybe pretzel sticks instead of fruit snacks. You can maybe use instead of an apple. I'll actually show you that, another example in a moment here. So this is how I made my first example. So real quick, let me see here if I can make this again. So taking a look here, I have my strawberry. I used them. And like I said, it's okay. You can play with your food. This would be a good time you can play with your food because in a way, this is food art. I used 2 chocolate chips for my eyes. In fact, let me try to move this down a little bit more so that you can see. So I used 1, 2, there we go. So there's my hen. I also used, so you can, like I said, for your antenna, you can try to make another hole, or if you want, just maybe put it down here on the edge of your plate. Next I just started to line up my apples. Just like this. And if they fall down, that's okay. That's the beauty of art. You kind of make it however you want. You can have it go straight. You can have it maybe curl around a little bit. However you want to make it. It's okay. So let me just add on here one more. So here was my attempt to make a caterpillar. I also can do is maybe add some feet. And so here, my friends, is my fast, quick attempt of making a caterpillar. Again, you can make it any way you want. Next, another example of what I made is I made another caterpillar. There we go. Now, in this example here, what I did was I made my strawberry. I made the head the same. I used chocolate chips for the eyes and the nose, the strawberry, and instead for the antennas, I decided to use pretzel sticks. I used green grapes. I used, for the leaf, I used a piece of lettuce, romaine lettuce, and this orange up here, do you know what it represents? Yes, my friends, it represents the sun. So, all right, here we go. Again, let me do the face first. You can make the eyes. Again, you can use peanut butter chips. You can use anything you want. You don't have to use chocolate chips. So here was my face. And you know what? Right away, I think I'm just going to put this down here. And what am I missing? In this case, what am I missing right now? I am missing my antenna, in which then I can use pretzel sticks. Here we go. Like I said, you can design any way you want. You could have it laying right here. You can curl the caterpillar in another direction. Here's one example. And of course, my son. There's another example. And I'm definitely getting hungry. And I have just enough time to show you one more quick snack for today. Now, in case if you're not really wanting too much fruit, but maybe a vegetable instead, you could also make a caterpillar using a piece of celery. So for this one, I used a piece of celery. I put 2 little chocolate chips for the eyes. I have pretzel sticks here for the antenna. I have here in the back, I also have more pretzels here. I have some, you can use raisins, you can use craisins, you can use decorate it any way you want here. So you can see here. And next, we will do is, I will very quickly show you, because we are almost out of time today. What I'm gonna do is just spread my peanut butter. I am going to put my pretzels here. Let me put two eyes, the antenna. And you know what? I am just going to sprinkle these craisins or cranberries right on here for a snack. So now my question is, are you hungry? Because I definitely am hungry right now. You can have any kind of snack you want to make these. Again, this is your snack. Like I said, check with your mom and dad, siblings, check with another family member. Please remember to wash your hands. Again, I really want to thank you. And like I said, you can use any snack you want. Fruits, check, like I said, with family. I want to thank you for being here with me today, for Learn at Home with VIA. And at this time, let's have some lunch.